Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. We are back. This is the preview for Aston Villa, and obviously it's coming on the day of the game. We don't usually do this. We normally have the game before, but it was New Year's Eve and that I weren't going to go live on the evening of New Year's Eve. Oh no, you guys could be doing different things, although most of us were locked down. I spent it watching East is East, which was the best time ever. Probably shows my age as well. Let us know how you guys are doing. Happy New Year to you all. Manchester United back in action tonight, and I am feeling so nervous after Steve Bruce's Newcastle got us a little Brucey bonus against Liverpool midweek, getting a point, meaning that Manchester United could win this game, which when you look at the table looks like our game in hand. It's not our game in hand because Liverpool play this game week on Monday against Southampton. Our game in hand comes against Burnley, but if we win, we could go temporarily level on points with Liverpool until Monday when they play Southampton. Now, Southampton have had a little bit of a dip in form, but Southampton are a very good team. And at St Mary's, who knows, they could maybe pull us off a little favour as well. So Manchester United's confidence is growing. We're all feeling like we could potentially have like a little title challenge, but we do have to take things a step at a time. Aston Villa today at Old Trafford is a huge game for Manchester United, and Aston Villa are a very good team when you look at the way Dean Smith has them playing football this season. They've obviously got their talisman in Jack Grealish, but if you look at when they came to us last season and the position that they were in and the players that they had, and you look at their team now, it's a complete contrast. Obviously you still have the likes of McGinn and Douglas Luiz in the midfield who are very good, but you also have now, they've added the people like Ollie Watkins, Ross Barkley into the mix. Al Ghazi's found some form. So this is a team that is coming to Old Trafford, having made a very good start to the season. A better start than anyone expected. They've got 2 games in hand. They're sitting in amongst the teams at the top. And they'll be fully confident. And they can go into this game thinking, well, actually, we're in a great position this season. Anything that we get in this match against United will be a bonus, but I expect they'll come and they'll be looking to get all 3 points, and that may help Manchester United in that they'll open up a little bit and they'll maybe expand a little bit more when they're on the attack. But it's going to be a difficult game, and we have to be at it. If we play like we did against Wolves, I don't think it's going to be the same result. Unfortunately, obviously we got through it in the end, and we had a little bit of luck, but we need to be at it today, and hopefully there's no hangovers. None of the lads have been chilling with Kyle Walker, allegedly, or anything like that. And the lads are all ready to go. So, yeah, big game. We'll be discussing all that, obviously, as well. RIP MF Doom passed away yesterday as well. Sad news. Also, Tommy Doherty as well, from a Manchester United perspective. Didn't get to speak about it on the Weekly United as I filmed it just before. And Tommy Doherty was obviously a manager that is before my time as a fan and going to games and things like that. He was a manager in the 70s, but he helped Manchester United get promoted from the old second division into the first division, helped Manchester United win an FA Cup as well. And if you ask those people that watched Manchester United at that time, the older heads, maybe ask Jay, they will say that it was great football and they enjoyed watching the team under him. So, shout out to Tommy Doherty's family, condolences to them, and rest in peace to Tommy Doherty, and of course MF Doom. A with the super chat says AM9 looked really sad coming on last game. Hopefully he's angry for being on the bench and he will be fixing up in this game today. We'll talk about Anthony Martial in a little bit. Liam Mayer says, is that a have a nice shirt? It is a have a nice shirt. Shout out Vuj. Did Mardragon win the poster? Great stuff, good to see. We got some of the AMTV gang winning some of the stuff over on the Stretford Paddock 12 Days of Christmas. Fancy Wan-Bissaka to pocket Grealish tonight, says Josh. Be a difficult challenge for him. We need to support our managers and players more, says Dr. Tom Moy. And Mardragon says we're going to lose points again. Most important, start winning the game immediately after. We need to be at it in this game. There's no ifs, buts or maybes. We will have my predicted 11 coming up as well. Obviously, we have that news coming into this. It was expected, I suppose. Frustrating thing for Manchester United. and Manchester United fans and Edinson Cavani is, you know, he's the first one to suffer from the new rules. If you remember, Bernardo Silva got done for a little, you know, a joke that he shared online. You know, it was wild, to be fair. You shouldn't be posting things like that online. I know people have different kind of relationships with their friends, and they can maybe do different things in WhatsApp groups and all that. But online, when you're a massive footballer, it's a no-no. He got a 1-game ban for that. Now, Edinson Cavani, obviously, there's a lot of cultural differences. There's a lot of linguistic differences. There's a lot of context that you have to take into this as well. I don't believe Edinson Cavani was being malicious about it. I think it's something that, you know, people from his part of the world say. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. Obviously, I don't live out in that part of the world. I'm not, you know, I'm not black. I'm not Latin American. I don't know whether it is, but we could all see that he was going to get a ban. Now, I don't believe he's a racist. I don't believe he meant anything malicious by it. Is he stupid? Is he naive? Maybe. I don't know. But he's been given a ban. Now, a 3-match ban. That's one less than John Terry got. One less than John Terry got for saying what he said to Anton Ferdinand. Now, let that sink in. Now, Cavani, he has to take the suspension, slap on the wrist, whatever, and he's taken that in his stride. But, you know, in comparison to other people, what they've got, it's not consistent. And that's the thing. The FA, when there's real instances of racism, they never really take them seriously. And then there's instances like this where, like, if you think Dele Alli, what Dele Alli done on Snapchat was a lot worse. In fact, was actually racist. Like, you know, there's question marks around what Cavani did, and I can't answer some of them. But, like, with what Dele Alli did, blatant racism. Yeah, he gets a 1-game ban. It all gets kind of swept under the rug. Dele Alli isn't a racist, this, that, and the other. And then Edinson Cavani, a 3-game. There's no consistency in whatever they're doing. No consistency at all. And when you look at what some of the things, you know, the people within the FA have come out and said in recent months, Greg Clark or whatever his name is, it's mental. Would I sign Diego Costa for 6 months as Declan? I wouldn't. I wouldn't, no. I wouldn't at all. So, nah, not in my opinion. Now, let's look at the team news from yesterday. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had a press conference yesterday. And he was talking about the team news ahead of this game. Victor Lindelof, he's had a back injury now. There were some rumours during the week. Victor Lindelof would have to undergo surgery on his back injury. United were trying to delay the time, delay when that was going to happen so that we wouldn't miss him for too long. But it seemed that had to come forward. They were only rumours though. Nothing's really been confirmed. Now, we hear Ollie's likely to rotate his squad for the latest festive fixture. Cavani's now ruled out through suspension, as we've just been discussing. Obviously, Anthony Martial never started the last game. You'd expect he'd come back into the starting lineup. At the back, Victor Lindelof missed a dramatic win over Wolverhampton Wanderers due to his back problem, and the Swede could be absent again despite training with the group. But we do know Eric Bailly stepped in and was fantastic against Wolves. Obviously, the worries with Eric Bailly is he has a breakdown or he picks up an injury or something like that. But I've been really pleased with what Eric Bailly's been doing since he's come back into the team. Hopefully he can keep it up. You know, we know Ollie's tried to rotate that midfield area, keep that midfield fresh. Matic and Pogba played last time. You may see Fred or Scott McTominay or both of them coming in this game. And Ollie said we have a strong squad. We've rotated a lot and not really found, you'd say, a settled 11 this season. But I don't think it's about that anyway. It's going to be about a squad of 25, 26 players. And I think towards the end of the season that will help us. And it has to be done this way. When you leave out Scott and Fred, it's not easy because they deserve to play every game. But Nemanja and Paul played well against Everton, so that I wanted that midfield against Wolves. We'll get injuries and suspensions. It will happen. It's football, but our squad is well capable and ready for every game. Alex Telles is fit despite being subjected to a heavy tackle midweek. And Ollie said it was a tactical decision to bring him off. I think there has been improvements in some of parts of Luke Shaw's game. His distribution and getting forward being one of them. and he's kind of risen to that challenge from Alex Telles. They both have defensive weaknesses, though. We know that. Aaron Wan-Bissaka obviously returned to the game against Wolves from injury, and we'd expect Anthony Martial will be back in the team today. Wan-Matta's back amongst the subs. So it'll be interesting to see how Ollie targets this game. Will he go for a diamond? Will he go for a 4-2-3-1? Will he go for a 4-3-3? We saw in that latter part of the game against Wolves, we went for a 4-3-3 and we kind of had Pogba and Bruno as 2-8s. And that's the way to go for me. Now, obviously, you've got, the question marks. Well, I'd say they're no longer question marks, but obviously Paul Pogba's going to be leaving next summer. So do you start building a team that features him heavily in a midfield three? You probably keep rotating him as we have done. Still use him when you need him, but you know he's not going to be there for long. So why start building him around your team every single game? But you'd still use him. But in a 4-3-3, Donny van der Beek, Pogba, even Fred, all these players can fit into that. Bruno can fit into that. And I'd like to see us use the 4-3-3 more going forward. I know it's very similar to the 4-2-3-1, but I just do think it allows you to build up a little bit more through midfield and have a little bit more there. And Bruno, as we know, likes to drop deep and get forward, so he wouldn't have any problems playing that game or that formation. Grealish might play centrally in a 10. Will I be on the Paddock watch along? I will be on the Paddock watch along tonight. We'll be with the lads. Who do you think the most realistic signing this transfer is, says Anos. You could look at Dale Upamecano. I mean, 6 months to go into the summer transfer window. Obviously, us being knocked out of the Champions League doesn't help. But he's got a release clause. Do you go and trigger that early? Do you pay him a little bit more? Not too sure. Ellis says, do you see Villa as a threat? Honest opinion, no bias. Of course I do. I think when you look at their team, let's talk about the opposition team now. When you look at what Dean Smith's done there, he's invested quite smartly in this summer transfer window. He's got talent around Jack Grealish. I think the big problem for Aston Villa last season was Jack Grealish didn't really have anybody to feed. The strikers weren't great last season. You brought in Ollie Watkins this season, and whilst he's not smashing hat-tricks every game, he does bring them something else. He can hold the ball up. He's a good threat. He scores goals as well, but he's a different kind of striker to what they've had. So Jack Grealish has now got somebody to play off. When you add then to the mix the likes of Douglas and McGinn in the midfield, which is really balanced and really strong, that gives him a little bit more freedom in there. Ross Barkley has been coming in as well, pushing Jack Grealish to the left. So then when you've got all these Anwar El Ghazi scoring 5 and 5, when you've got these players that are on form and playing, and you're now taking some of the attention away from Jack Grealish and you're giving him the freedom, he can damage teams. I think he's top 3, top 5 players in the league at the moment, but just pure talent based as well. He's incredible talent. Would take him at Manchester United all day long. And we saw last season, even without this team as it is, Jack Grealish pulls off a bit of magic and it's 1-1. Villa get a point, and they've got a better team this time around. Now that may play into United's hands because Villa will feel they've got a better team. They can maybe go for it. There's a few goals for them in this game, and that will open things up at the back for them, for Manchester United to get goals. But it's a difficult game. I'd say it's probably a more difficult game than the Wolves game. When you look at the Wolves game, Wolverhampton Wanderers are a very good side, but they never really had the threat of a Grealish or a striker really that was causing us any problems. I think Neto is a great talent, not really a 9. They were missing Raul Jimenez. So I think this is a much more difficult game than the game against Wolves a couple of days ago. So we have to be at it. I am frustrated by the Cavani ban, but I kind of seen it coming. Happy New Year as well to everyone in the comments. Let's see what people's saying. Anthony Martial, now look, it's a big opportunity for him. Now let's get the team up. Actually, we'll bring this in with the team. So there we go. There's a team. There we go. So that's my team for the game. David De Gea in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Bailly and Telles. I do think Luke Shaw might start, but I do like Alex Telles. I think if you're playing McTominay and Fred, who are more defensive minded, and they will sit there and protect a little bit more than if you've got Pogba in that midfield too, then you may as well play Telles and allow him that little bit more freedom to get forward. So I'd go with Telles, Bailly, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. Fred, McTominay is what I think we'll see in the midfield. Bruno Fernandes, Martial, Rashford, Mason Greenwood. We've obviously got cup games coming up against City, against Watford. I think that Watford game will be the one where we see Rashford and Bruno maybe given a rest, Maguire given a rest, etc. So, I'd expect that to happen in those games. But that's my predicted 11 for today. I think we will see that midfield freshen up and him go back to that midfield there. A says AM9 has a goal assist every other game over his entire United career. Real nines, Rams Latin in their best United Prem season failed to outscore him. Bang on. And also, look, people's getting onto Anthony Martial, and rightly so in terms of his performances haven't been great, especially in the numbers of goals. He's given us, I think we've got 9-10 goal contributions. He's got 4 goals, 6 assists in around 16-17 games. That's not enough goals. We need more goals from Anthony Martial. He needs to be 1 in 2, not a 1 in 4, 1 in 3. That's fine. But all strikers will go through a period of time like this. It's how they come out of it. It's how they react. It's how they come through it. Now, we've still got a long way of the season to go. Martial will still get goals. I have no doubt about that. And when you look at a lot of the performances, I don't think he's had many stinkers. If you look at, he come off the bench against Everton, helped us win that game. Come off the bench against Wolves, helped us win that game. He started against Leeds, got 2-3 assists, or 2 assists, won the penalty, all that. Should have scored in that game, but his all-round performance was pretty good. And I do think he brings us something different in that 9 position that no one out, he holds the ball up, he brings others into play. Far too often, when he doesn't, the ball's coming straight back at Manchester United. And I know everyone gets onto me for obviously being a fan of his and liking him as a player, but even without all of that stuff, you just have to see it how it is. Strikers will go through a bad time. How are you going to come out of it? I can't remember a time where he'd gone through this kind of period before as a Man United player. So people rushing to doubt him and say sell him and get rid and all that, I think it's a little bit premature. Because all throughout his United career, he's shown that he's a finisher. He's shown that you get your goals. He's going through a little bit of a crisis of confidence. Them goals will return. You also got to look at the way the season's been. No pre-season, lots of football over the last year. That will have an effect on people as well. All players are different. Mental fatigue, physical fatigue, just bad luck, bad form. But he'll come out of it and he'll start banging the goals again. And we need him to. And that's kind of like a good thing. Like if you look at Martial, not really performed yet. Greenwood, not really performed yet. Cavani, he has performed, but we still know there's a lot more to come from him, in terms of goals. Donny van der Beek, still a lot more to come from him. Paul Pogba. You got these 5 players that haven't really massively contributed to the team so far this season, and there's still more to come. And when you add that to it, Rashford, Bruno will get better. There's a lot to be positive about in Manchester United's team at the moment. But we just need to keep this run going. We really do. We've barely lost a game. Tony has played in, says Scotty. He says a lot of people don't understand his importance in each of our game. 21 is coming, says my lad. It's wide open this year. Any team goes on a run now will win it. And we've shown this year we can go on a run. So let's hope we can do it. Shitting myself about tonight's game. But going to go for a 2-0 win for United. I think we'll make a few changes. Villa will be tired. They do go with pretty much the same 11 a lot. I think Ross Barkley is back for them tonight. Jack Grealish is obviously a threat. But I'm hoping we'll put in a better performance than we did against Wolves. And we'll come through it and get the win. We need to. I hope we do anyway. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing and all that jazz as well. Let me see if there's any super chats that I've missed before I go. A says, AM9 creates when on the wing. Rashford and Greenwood's first instinct is to score. Martial would perform better if he played with players of his ilk. I think there is one thing in Martial in that, which is a positive as well, I suppose. It probably works against him detrimentally in terms of getting goals when he really needs them. But he's a striker that will play others in. Like, he will do it. He's not greedy. He's not going to, think, oh, fuck this, I'm going to score on my own. He will look to bring others in. And I think that he has to be praised for that, because a lot of strikers, when things are going wrong for them, they start getting frustrated. They start just looking to shoot from anywhere. And you don't see that from him. He still puts the team first. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's my predicted 11. That's my thoughts ahead of the Villa game. Remember, we will be on Stretford Paddock tonight doing the watch along. Then I'm on the kickoff on Sunday if the Chelsea vs Man City game is on. And then we got loads more stuff next week as well with Manchester United, City in the Cup and all that, which I'll be on Stretford Paddock for. But make sure you're keeping it locked. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I have been AdamMcKola. This has been the Villa preview. Fingers crossed we'll be getting 3 points tonight. I'm out of here. See you in a bit.